Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ant and this is episode 2 of the BMW E46 drift car build. So in this episode, I sussed out what's going on with the starting fault and why it's not running properly or starting at all. Also, I give it a service and yeah, take it for a spin and see how she runs. Alrighty gang, so it's been a very funny morning. I've chased my tail a little bit, probably did some incorrect diagnosing and chasing a fault that wasn't actually a fault. So in the last video I said that the car was misfiring, and then when I got it home it was it didn't even start at all, or it started a little bit and it chug and then it died. So yeah, I thought there was a fault with the fuel pump. So I did some pressure testing this morning. I rigged up like a homemade little sort of thing to go onto my hydraulic pressure gauge tester, and I wasn't getting any fuel pressure at the fuel rail. So then I went down to the fuel pump to check if I was getting fuel pressure straight out of the fuel pump, and as I was taking that line off, a whole heap of pressure spurted out, and I thought, oh, this is strange. I'm not getting fuel pressure at the fuel rail, but I'm getting fuel pressure at the fuel pump. So I decided to put my pressure gauge straight onto the fuel pump. That way I could see if it had a blocked fuel filter. So if I'm getting good pressure out of the fuel pump to the fuel filter, but bad pressure at the fuel rail, that could mean that I have a blocked fuel filter. Not very common, unless you've got a diesel, but yeah, just thought I would eliminate that. So I put my fuel gauge on there, my pressure gauge on there, and turned the key, and I wasn't getting any fuel pressure. And then I had this thought. Just had a funny thought. What about if it's out of fuel? Check the gauge though. There's a bit of fuel in there, but maybe the gauge is faulty. I don't know. I might chuck some fuel in it and see how we go. And then after that funny thought, this happened. Okay, so I just put like maybe 5 litres of fuel in it, and then took my hose off my pressure gauge, and it spurted out. Okay, so it's just out of fuel. So then after I realised it didn't have any fuel, and I put the fuel in, and then realised it had pressure, I put everything back to normal, and then tried to start it, and this is what happened. Turns out it was just low on fuel, you silly sausage. After I slapped myself around a little bit, I decided to put a bit more fuel in it and take it for a spin. So far so good, out of the driveway. Oh yeah, still got a bit of a misfire. In the rear end that I was talking about in the other video. pretty hard. Clutch feels good though. Oh yeah, big misfire now. Just gutless. See if we can hear it. We pop the hood. Can definitely hear it. What I'm going to do now is change the spark plugs, see if that clears it up. I'm going to change the spark plugs anyway because I'm giving it a full service. So hopefully once they're done, she's going to be good. So I've just got the car in the garage and switched it off, and I can hear a hissing sound, and it's actually coolant or water leaking out of the radiator. The top pipe is actually snapped. Let's see if we can see it. Down here, there it is, you can see it now. So like I said in the last vid, I'm going to change the radiator, put an aluminium one in it so I don't have to deal with that again. So yeah, if anybody's watching this that has done a full cooling system upgrade, because I don't want to just buy the radiator from one place, hoses from another place, water pump from another place. If you know somewhere that does a full cooling system upgrade, so thermostat, thermostat housing, and the water pump, changing it from the plastic impeller to the cast iron or metal impeller, and aluminium radiator and aluminium header tank, that'd be, or overflow bottle, whatever you want to call it, that would be awesome if you could chuck it in the comments below. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to unplug one coil pack at a time. So unplug it, see if it changes the RPM at all, or changes the misfire, and then plug it back in and then move to the next one. If it changes and it runs rougher, that means that that cylinder's okay. So either coil pack or spark plug is okay. If you unplug it and nothing changes, that means either that spark plug or that coil pack is bad. And then I'm going to obviously change the spark plugs. If it's still misfiring, then I can refer back to which one was misfiring, which cylinder was misfiring, and then I can play around with the coils and then see if it's the coils causing the problem. Before I get into that, I just want to say how much of a beautiful day it's turned into. Sun's out, blue skies, a couple of clouds. I know we're going through tough times at the moment with the coronavirus and everything like that, but I hope you guys can find something a little positive in your day just to try and keep your mental health on track, and you know, a little bit sane and happy and stuff like that. If we can find little things to be grateful for throughout our day, like when the sun comes out and it becomes a beautiful day, then that really does help with our mental health. Anyway, back to the coils. So I've got it running. I'm just going to start from cylinder 1 and work my way back. Hear the change. So we know number 1's good. And then it's just a process of elimination. Just work your way back. They actually all changed it, but some did it more than others. So I don't know, because that idle, it actually sounds alright. So it might be just as you rev up, then when it's under load, like when it's driving under load, that's when it starts to misfire. So yeah, it might be a little bit tricky to diagnose than I initially thought. So I've just pulled number 1 out. See this white stuff around here? and also around here. It's the same on both sides. That usually means that it's like arcing out. So that could be actually the cause when it's under load. Number one's arcing out and making it misfire. So it'd be interesting to see what the rest of them look like. I've got number two out. It's a totally different type of coil. This is a Bosch one. The number one cylinder has a BMW one in it. But this one looks nearly brand new. There's no arcing marks or anything on that, so that's positive. I might end up just changing them all to this so they're all unison, if that's the right word to use, or alike. So yeah, I bought the Laser Platinum because, you know, race car. Alright, so I've changed all the plugs. They actually didn't look that old. Number one does have a few different markings on the end of it than the rest of the cylinders do. So I don't know if it was that number one coil, like I showed you before, making number one spark plug not spark, or also it could be number one spark plug as well, being faulty. Not sure, gonna start it up now, let's see how we go. Sounds alright. Alright, so I'm in the car. I'm going to give it a bit of a rev up and see if it misfires. Seems pretty smooth. I'll have to take it for a drive so then it gets under load and then see if it misfires under load. Seems to be alright so far. That's better. Misfire. You bloody beauty! She seems to be running smooth. She seems to be running smooth as after that trip. So happy with that. Probably going to leave the coils as they are. One interesting thing that I did find out though is, so there's obviously 6 coils all up, being a 6-cylinder engine. 2 are Bosch, and then the other 4 are BMW. 3 are the same part number, and then number 1 is a different part number to the other BMW ones. I'll show you. So these one here, 1748018. This one here, 1748017. What the bloomin' hell's going on there, I wonder? Alrighty guys, that's all done, all fixed, not misfiring anymore. I'm a very happy sailor, happy camper, happy boy. Yeah, so very happy. I'm gonna go ahead and service this now. I'm not gonna film it and put it in this video because I don't think I need to. There's a million other videos on how to service a BMW E46 on YouTube. So yeah, but I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to continue watching my drift build journey, please subscribe to stay up to date with everything that's going on with the E46 drift build. Alright guys, have a great day. Peace.